very well that he is in this Dandakaranyaka. But from far he catches sight of Prabhu Ram and does not want to disturb him in his Naralila. Secretly, he has come on this earth to do his Leelas. Leelas mean his divine pastimes for human welfare. Only and only for human welfare. For welfare of us human beings. And the welfare of the entire creation. So Lord Shiva, from far pays obeisance, again thrilled and immersed and drowned in ecstatic joy. He, glorifying his beloved Lord, moves on. However, one Sati, looks at the behavior, the personality of Brahma. He cannot be Brahma. Because Brahma does not have beauty. Brahma is Sarvavyapaka. Brahma jo vyapak viraj aj akal aniha abhed so ki deha dhari hoye na jahi na janat ved. Even Vedas don't know Brahma. But this one, this personality, 6-footer, strikingly handsome, when Brahma has no beauty, Brahma has no mind, he's got a mind. And that's why he's got a desire. And his desires are very lusty desires for the woman, for the wife who has been now kidnapped. So all this in detail I had explained to you yesterday. Kabahu yoga viyoga na jaake dekha pragat vilah mudate. No yoga union, no viyog separation. God is beyond all this. Even the God-realized saints are beyond it. Then what to say of the Supreme Divine God? He is beyond yog and vyog, means union and separation, and the pain and the joy of it. But all this I can see with my very own eyes. Says who? Sati. And thus takes the form of Sita, takes the test, and then the destruction, total destruction. So basically the lesson here is that Ram akarkya buddhi man bani mat hamar as sunahu sayani, says Lord Shiva through Sati to all of us, or through Mata Parvati to all of us. The same narration Lord Shiva will give to Mata Parvati. And the narration would be for our welfare once again. How Sati Tyag took place. So, Supreme Almighty Godhead Personality Ram, Atarkya, is beyond that. That means arguments, debates, discussions. Anything to do with the application of your senses, mind, and intellect. Especially the intellect. Buddhi, mana, and vani. Vani, the words, your mind, and your intellect. Beyond, far beyond. He is the very Mayadhishpati. Even Mayatit cannot come to know him. Then what to say of Mayadhit? Those who are under Maya. And what to say of Mayatit? Even the Bhagavati is showing to us. Even the supremacy of the divinity cannot talk about the divinity. Even if Lord Rama were to be asked to reveal about himself, even he cannot talk about himself. Why? Because Ram is Anant. And how can Anant be described, explained, or talked about? Anant even cannot talk about Anant. Anant means infinite. Something which is limited can be discussed, can be talked about. But something which is unlimited, which is infinite, is beyond discussion, beyond description. And plus, whoever is going to to talk with the senses, mind, and intellect, with his mind and buddhi. And whoever is going to understand, like you and I, we are going to understand without mind and buddhi, without mind and intellect. This is all limited. Our material senses, mind, and intellect. But even the divine is unable to talk about himself. Infinite cannot be talked about or explained. This is how infinite, Ananta, Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta is the Supreme Personality. Maharshi Valmiki. Remember, Valmiki Ramayana is the ultimate authority of the Ramayana. Maharshi Valmiki. He is the same Ratnakar Daku, the greatest dacoit the world had ever known. Daku. And this dacoit, Ratnakar, he used to kill people, anybody passing by, loot them, and then supply bread and butter to the family members. And one day, he caught hold of Narad Muni, not knowing Maharshi Narad's dignity. And he tried to loot Maharshi Narad. Maharshi Narad said, I have nothing. I've just got this string instrument, the veena. And now, you want to loot me of that? I'm ready to give you that. I have nothing. Absolutely nothing to feed your family. To supply food, clothing, or shelter to your family or to you. Ratnakar Daku says, well, I don't trust you. He stripped Maharshi Narad naked. What is there in nakedness? For you and I, we cover this body. But what we should be ashamed of and embarrassed of is the 84 Nag commandment. आकर 4,84,000 जोनि भ्रमत या जीव अविनाशी विरत सदा माया कर प्रेरा काल कर्म स्वभाव गुण घेरा काल time कर्म our actions and swabhav our natures. Due to this we don't change our actions to divine actions. We don't change our nature of the material nature to something spiritual. And we continuously rotate in the cycle of transmigration again and again. Born naked, we die naked. And we are not embarrassed of that. Well, Maharshi Narad, he is far beyond body. Pache bhule deh sudhi, to chati bhavana rasati. In the Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana, it is explained that the gopis entered into Maharaj. Chirharan took, prior to this, the robbing of their clothes. What is clothed? We are already clothed with this body. The Atma is the actual I. This body is simply the cloth that we are putting on. And we keep changing it. That means change of center from one body to the other. Just like you put a new pair of clothes. That's all it is. And then putting on this body the decorative clothes. Only we do it who are under Maya. Those who are beyond this, those who are divine personalities, they are beyond this body, senses, mind, intellect. Their Atma is now one with the Supreme Divine Beloved Lord, attached exclusively with love. The Swami, the Sevak. Consciousness of the body is not there. So for Maharshi Narad, okay, I'm only having this dhoti wrapped around me. You want to check it out? Check it out. Well, Ratnakar Daku could not find anything. And accepted that Maharshi Narad was talking the truth and not joking. Ratnakar Daku, for the very first time, had been in association with a God-realized personality who is just not a so-called saint, but who is one with the divinity, and is the divine himself in that form. This is who a genuine saint is. Like Jagadguru Swami Shri Bala Mahaprabhu. We see him as another human person. He's not. And that's where we make the mistake. Well, Ratnakar, that type of a backward, realized this truth with his own experience just by being in association with Maharishi Narad. That Maharishi Narad has the human form and he's a saint, but he's the divine in this form. What the Supreme Lord Krishna himself states in the Bhagavatam Mahapurana. Acharya Mam Purukha Veda is the Vedas. Through these acharyas come to know me. Acharya Mam Vijaniyan Navamanyeta Karvichit Namatya Buddhya Suyet Sarvadevo Mayo Guru. These gurus, these saints, are me. Acharya Mam Vijaniyan. Know them to be me. They are not my poems or something. It is me. Just like the $100 note, I give it to you like that. Everybody knows it's a $100 note. I put it in an envelope and give it to you. Nobody knows. It's the same $100 note, but it's covered now. God, we all talk about as Sita Radha Krishna. When God descends as such great divine personalities, then we say, oh, human being who has attained God realization. Not attained, it is me. Such divine personalities I'm talking about. The 5 Jagat Gurus we have had, all of them. Adi Jagat Guru Shankaracharya, Adi Jagat Guru 2,500 years back, the original Jagat Guru I'm talking about. Lord Shiva himself. Then Jagat Guru Nimbarkacharya, Jagat Guru Ramanujacharya, and Jagat Guru Madhavacharya. Remember, these are all divine dissensions, eternal divine dissensions they are. The dissension of Bhagavan Shankar, as I told you, Shankaracharya. The dissension of Chakra, divine Sudarshan Chakra, Nimbarkacharya. The dissension of Sheshnag, Balaram, Sheshnag, Ramanujacharya. And the dissension of Vayu. Just like Vayuputra Hanuman, the dissension of Vayu is Madhavacharya. And the dissension of Yugal Sarkar Sri Radha Krishna is Jagadguruttam Kripaluacharya. These divine dissensions. And Maharishi Narad is the divine dissension of Hari, Narayan, and singing Narayana. Eternal sage he is. Thus, coming in association with such divine personalities immediately gives us, endows upon us that divine grace. Even a personality like Maharishi Valmiki, who was at one time not a personality, but we call a very wicked person, Ratnakar talked about that way. No matter who it is. But the moment he saw and he felt that this is the first time I've seen someone who is speaking absolute truth to me, who's not lying, and who is not carrying anything, and his every pore and fiber is singing now, is singing the glories of the Lord's name. And that is doing something to me inside. It is giving me that wealth that it seems I had been searching for, but I was looking for that wealth of wealth, that joy, that happiness, that satisfaction, that perfection in looting people's wealth. Thus, for once, Ratnakar Thakur, accepting the personality of Maharishi Narad internally, is now surrendering to him. But total surrender is still yet to come. Because Maharshi Narad said to Ratnakar Thakur, I'll wait for you here, my child. The way he spoke the words, the divine words comes with the divine grace. That arrow hits at the very core the soul of the Jivatma. And the soul is connected to that supreme divinity in every way. So Ratnakar Thakur feels that. He gets totally taken up. And Maharshi Narad says, I'll wait for you. You go and ask each and every family member of yours for whom you have been looting all this while, whose families you have been destroying by killing them, by giving pain to them. Go and ask your family members for whom you have been doing all this. Are they going to be a party to your action? Are they going to share the results and the fruits of your bad karmas, your sins? I need to know the answer. Up till now, I never even thought about this thing. And this is something which needs to be given serious thought about. It struck me in such a manner that he thought, oh yeah, I must do this. Otherwise he could have simply said, oh, what are you talking nonsense? I don't want to know about this. But no, these are not just simple mere words of any Tom, Dick, or Harry. This is the day Chittam Bhavati Dharmatma, as the Gita says, Bhagavad Gita. This is the day instantly Ratnakar Thakur is going to be turned into a saint today because of his great devotional deeds are coming. And this meeting and association with this genuine saint is not just happening by chance. The acceptance is happening by chance. Meeting never happens by chance, but accepting the saint's sainthoodness and divinity happens only by chance. Tulsidas ji will explain, which I'll talk about later. But here, let's move on. So Ratnakar Thakur goes, asks the family members, it's a spit on his face. Direct. Each one of them said, of course not. We didn't ask you to do the evil acts of killing, etc., and looting people, to come and supply bread and butter. That was your choice to do it. We are not going to be party to your sins. And that left and right slap on his face. Turned him not right turn, not left turn, about turn, quick march back to Maharshi Narad he came. Ratnakar Thakur came and fell at the feet of Maharshi Narad. And now Maharshi Narad says, with this realization and with this vairagya, little bit of vairagya is a must. Detachment. That little bit of vairagya he now got. That attachment which he had now is broken today by realizing the truth. That today they are not going to stand with me. They have all turned their face against me. When I have been doing all this only for them. So this hurt is a good one. This stick of Maya is an immense grace. And it comes and falls at the feet of, lotus feet of Maharshi Narad. Maharshi Narad says, now, chant the name of my beloved. That's saying Ram. Say Ram. Say Ram. He wants to say Ram. He can't say Ram. It's not that he is dumb, no. It's not that he is mute, no. He can speak, and he can speak Ra and Ma very well. But the word, the pious, the divine name Ram would not come out of his mouth because of the sins he has done. Just imagine how blessed we are. We all. We are not as sinful as Ratnakar Thakur. We all can sing Ram, can't we? Can we all sing Ram? Jai Shri Ram. Say. can say Ram. But he wanted to say Ram, he couldn't say Ram. Because his sins would not allow him to. His spiritual transgressions also would not allow him to do that. So he tried to say Ram, but the word Mara would come. Mara. So Ratnakar Daku, when he stepped there and tried to say Ram, crying, he wants to say Ram, he could not. Just like you and I will say, Didi ji, I want to practice bhakti, but how? Exactly the same thing here. I want to practice bhakti, but how? I can say multiple words, it will not make any sense to you. Even if it makes sense, I know it won't do any good to us. Our Guru will tell us everything, but still it won't work on us. We have to be like Ratnakar Daku. He genuinely wanted now to practice this love and devotion to God. He genuinely wants to say Ram, chant the name of Ram, but comes out Mara. Instead of Rama, Mara. Ulta naam japa jag jana Valmiki bhai Brahma saman. Ulte naam japa. Maharshi Narad said, sit here. Continuously just keep on saying Ram, Ram, Ram. He kept on saying Mara, Mara. Okay, continue with this. Whatever is coming out. Think of no one else now. Think of what I have told you. And wait for my return. In the mind of Ratnakar Daku is not Ram, because he doesn't know who Ram is, how Ram looks like. He's never done bhakti or devotion. He's never even sat with Maharshi Narad and heard about Ram and Krishna. He used to live in jungle. There was no deity like this. We are so fortunate, isn't it? When I say Ram, you know, Ram form is there, Krishna form is here. But Ratnakar Daku does not know how to associate the name with the form. And the form and the name are two separate things. And that is why that Ram is also not coming. Because before the name, the form comes. But there is no form in his mind. How is he going to do Rup Dhyan? He is doing Rup Dhyan of Maharshi Narad. His Rup Dhyan is only for Maharshi Narad, the person who has touched his Rom, his heart. Whom he has seen now. Who has done this miracle, this magic unto him. Where all this while, his evil habit has just come to an end, just like that. So, thinking of Maharshi Narad, waiting for his return, continuously Ratnakar Daku keeps on saying Mara, 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 Mara. Aeons passed by. And Ratnakar Daku was not aware of time. Not aware of time. Not days, not months, not years. Aeons. Aeons means yugas passed by. He got so immersed and drowned in the thought of Maharshi Narad, saying what his Guru has told him to do. That's all. It's there. Exclusive is his devotion. And all the, as you must have heard, mountain of sands, dust got collected over him. And the white ants started make a dwelling place there. His name came to be from Ratnakar Daku to Valmiki. Valmiki means where the white ants they make their dwelling place. So, and when the time came, before Lord Ram's descension, this same Ratnakar Daku turns into Maharshi Valmiki and gives the Valmiki Ramayana to the world, to all of us. And actually his chant starts from Uttarakhand. And actually the Ramayan chant starts when he sees a pair of swan, Hans, birds, separated. How? One Hans ka joda, the female and the male, one was shot by a hunter's arrow while the other, crying and crying and crying, gave up the life. Both happened in front of Maharshi Valmiki's life while he was praying to the Lord in the morning. And that's when the Ramayan chant comes to him. And that's where the entire Ramayana comes. No time for detail, we'll move on. I know these are very beautiful things, but just know the facts and move on. So, this Maharshi Valmiki, who is given the Ramayana, and Lord Ram appears and descends on this earth. And now, he has to make all these leelas of his divine play to go to the forests for 14 years. In the forest today, Bhagwan Ram, along with Lakshmanji Maharaj and Mata Sita, go to Chitrakoot. And in Chitrakoot dwells Maharshi Valmiki. Thus, as soon as Prabhu Ram comes to Maharshi Valmiki hears that Prabhu Ram is approaching, he runs to go and today greet him, pranam him, pay his humble obeisance, and cool his eyes today, and his agree the agony of separation by embracing his Swami, by falling at the divine lotus feet of his Swami Prabhu Ram. So Maharshi Valmiki, as soon as he perceives Prabhu Ram, he says, Ram Swarup Tumhar. Hey Ram, your form. Ram Swarup Tumhar. Bachan Abochar Buddhi Par. Avigat Akhat Apar. Neti Neti Nit Nigam Kaha. The Vedas say neti neti. Cannot talk. Neither this nor this. This as well as this. Cannot talk. Supreme divinity, abode of contradiction, contradictory predicates. Is day, is night. He is bigger than the biggest, smaller than the smallest. What to say about God? Can't say nothing. And you, whom the Vedas cannot talk about, cannot describe, you are standing before me. But, oh my beloved Lord, my Swami, you are beyond Vachan, Vani, words, beyond mind, beyond intellect, beyond explanation and description. Vachan agochara buddhi. So who can know? No one. Just as Lord Shiva had said to Uma. I just quoted to you all. Ram atarkya buddhi man bani mat hamari as sunahu sayani. Here, Maharshi Valmiki is saying the same words. Ram Swarup Tumhar Batan Agochar Buddhi Par Avigat Akhat Apar Neti Neti Nit Nigam Kaha Jag Pe Khan Tum Dekhan Hare Vidhi Hari Shambhu Nachavan Hare Teu न जान ही मरम तुम्हारा तो और तुम ही को जानन हारा जग पेखन तुम देखन हारे विधि हरि शंभु नचावन हारे Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar, they are even turned and twisted around by you. When even they cannot measure you or know you. No one can measure the supreme divinity, remember. Then what to say of me? Maharshi Valmiki is talking about himself. That Maharshi Valmiki, remember the one who has given to us Valmiki Ramayan, talked to us the entire narration of Prabhu Ramchandra Ji before Prabhu Ramchandra Ji descended on this earth, is saying, even I have now reached to you. Even Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar cannot come. Then who can? Brahma, he tried very hard to go in the lotus stalk, that stem of the lotus. He entered into it and he tried to go and find out where his origin is from. He tried and tried for infinite years, and ultimately he failed. He just did not know where he started from. Remember, from the navel of Narayan, Garbhodashai Bhagavan, Dvitiya Purush of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna's Pratham Purush, Dvitiya Purush, and Tritiya Purush form. The Pratham Purush is Narayan Mahavishnu, Karnad Navshai. The Dvitiya Purush is Narayan Mahavishnu, Garbhodashai. And the Tritiya Purush is Narayan Mahavishnu, but Kshirodashai. So from Garbhodashai, that lotus comes on which Brahma appears. But Brahma fails. So even if Brahma and if Vishnu, if Shankar, they are turned and twisted around by him, then who else can know? Umadaru Yoshita ki nai Sabahi nachavat Ram Gusai. Sabko nachane wale wo Ram. We have every aspect of creation, we all, and even the Supreme Personality is divine, his own form, as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar. All are twisted and turned around by him. Who can know him? No one. So do not apply this intellect. This is the ultimate teaching coming through all these examples. However, without knowing God, we can't accept the divinity. We have to have some knowledge, some wisdom, some understanding. Because jane binu na hoi paratiti, aur binu paratiti hoi nahi priti, says the Ramayana. Janoge nahi, if you do not attain the proper understanding or knowledge about anyone or anything, and even if it is divinity, about divinity, then we will not accept it. This is the nature of our material questioning, argumentative mind. We need to have some understanding, some clarity. And if we can't accept the divinity, then we will not fall in love with the divine. And if we do not fall in love with the divine, then we can't attain the divine, which is the ultimate goal of every human being. To attain the supreme divine bliss. And bliss is God. Ananda eva dhastat, ananda kristat, ananda parastat, ananda prashtat, ananda uttarta, ananda dakshinata, ananda eva dadvam sarva. God is bliss. God is love. God is peace. God is happiness. There is no happiness in lollipop. Is there happiness in lollipop? No happiness in lollipop. No happiness in chocolate. There is no happiness in any aspect of this world. Happiness is God. It is Krishna. This is right. God is love. But to attain that supreme happiness, that one happiness that we have been desiring and working so hard for, which is the divine, we need to know the divine. Ignorance is bliss at times, but that is only in the very mild, in the very mild manner. Not when it concerns the actual bliss itself. If we are ignorant about the divine bliss, then we can't be blissful. So, how can we know God? Not with your senses, mind, and intellect. Not with your efforts. No, impossible is the word. If you try to do that and put your effort to know God, you will be totally destroyed. Just like what Sati showed to us. Then, how do we? So here, Maharshi Valmiki himself, when he sees the personified form of Bhagavan Ram standing in front of him, Maharshi Valmiki first of all says, "Oh, my Swami, Ram Swarup Tumhar, Batana Agochar Buddhi Par, Avigata Akat Apar, Neti Neti Nita Nigama Kaha, Leki. You are the same. Jag Bekhan Tum, Dekhan Hare, Bidi Hari Shambhu, Nachavan Hare, Tevu Nachani Marma Tumhara, to Aur Tumai Ko Janan Hara Leke, Tevu Jane Hi, Jehi, Dehu Janai, or Janat Tumai, Tumai Hoi Jai, Tumara Hi Kripa, Tumahi Raghunandan, To Janat Bhagat, Bhagat Ur Chandan. Only those who, not with their efforts, etc., but receiving your grace, may come to know you, whom you shall grace to make them known about you, can come to know you. And knowing you, one takes forth your own Satchidanandamay, so become Satchidanandamay Yukta as well. Anandi does not become Satchidanand, Satchidanand Maya ho jata hai. See, to become Satchidanand means becomes Brahman. No. Satchidanand Maya means endowed with the same divine qualities of Sat, Chit and Ananda. The original form of the Atma, which is already divine in nature. But now realizing the supreme divine bliss, God is now endowed with the complete perfect bliss. Sat, eternal existence, Chit, eternal perfect knowledge and wisdom, and Anand, eternal perfect bliss. Or Janat tumhe hoi jai. Knowing you becomes endowed with all these divine qualities. But who comes to know? The one who is praised by. So we should fold our hands and wait for the grace of God. Then why come to satsang? Huh? You have to make so much effort to come here from your homes to satsang, when it is only the grace of God who will enable us to know God. Hey, watch out. These efforts to come to satsang is a must. If you don't put this effort to practice your devotional spiritual practice to God, then the grace will not come. Huh? Yes, the grace depends on condition. No. Grace does not depend on condition. No condition. God doesn't put condition. Then, grace of God depends on unconditional condition. Huh? बुद्धि लगा थोड़ा आप लोग अपने आप को बड़े बुद्धिमान समझते हो तो थोड़ा सा लगाना पड़ेगा बुद्धि. Yeah, you all think that we are learned and educated. Apply a little bit of your mind. Unconditional condition. So what is unconditional condition? Unconditional condition means where there is no give and no take. It is your joy and your thrill of your heart trying to surrender to God. And it is His grace without any conditions to receive anything. God does not need anything from us. Our practice of surrender itself wins the heart of the Supreme Divine Beloved God, attracts the grace of God, and the grace starts to work unto us. He is gracing us even now. But we are the ones who are turned away, who are averted. So the moment we start to move towards God without knowing anything, His grace starts to work upon us. That is why you can't understand in Buddhi. Once you start to turn yourself towards God, He will make you understand. Even I can't make you understand. That is why it is unconditional permission. So, but you can just say in the plain, simple words now, the moment we start to accept the divinity of the Supreme Divine Beloved God, accept the Supreme Divine God as our beloved. That's it. Just as our beloved, as our Swami, as our beloved, and ourselves as the Sevak. Sevak Swami Sambandh is a must. As long as we start to build this, my Sevak Raghupati Pati More, As Abhiman Jai Jani Pore. ये अभिमान आने लगे, अरे अभिमान तो बहुत दूर देर में आएगा, but at least this beginning of this, my Sevak Raghupati Pati More, my Sevak Raghupati Pati More, ये आने लगे, unconditional permission हो गया, grace work करने लगेगा, the grace will start to work upon us. So he will start to make us. No, because Sabkar Parama Prakashak Joy, Rama Anadi Avadhapati Suri. वो प्रकाश करने लगेंगे. He will start to enkindle the light of wisdom in us. That ignorance in us, that dark attachment towards Maya. Now, just by accepting slowly, very slowly, somewhere in our hearts, in some corner of our hearts and mind, that my Swami, my Lord, is my Supreme Divine Beloved, Raghunath Ji. You say Ramakrishna? Wow. Yeah, talking about Ramayan, scientists say that. You know, our one tear, just one single drop of the tear, and even if it's not even a single drop of a tear, even if it's just that acceptance in our hearts that today has come, my Swami, that's it. It makes the Lord shed uncountable tears for us. He becomes so filled with joy. And that is what attracts the grace of God. And that is what starts to enkindle the light of wisdom in us. It starts to give us that insight, that light, that wisdom of God's dignity. With your intellect, you cannot calculate and measure and understand. So, that Prabhu Ramchandra Ji cannot be understood or measured with our intellects. We need to surrender this. This is known as surrendering. Surrendering of our intellect to the divine, beloved, Godhead personality or Guru means accepting. Surrender means accepting. That's all it is, you know. Surrender is not something like this that we can say, yeah, I'm offering or Cobra Patna. Remember I told you. That is why Maharshi Valmiki himself had said, remember I talked about one doha yesterday? Loke nahi savidyeta yona Rama Manubrata. There is not a single soul in this world who is not a lover of the Supreme Almighty God. That acceptance is the one which is missing. But that acceptance needs to come. Even if it's to the slightest degree, the grace starts to come to that degree. The more our acceptance grows, the more the grace we attract of the Lord. Not a single soul is an atheist. Why? Not a single soul. When I say atheist, I mean here, not a single soul in this world. Even the animals, birds, and beasts, or even the stationary living beings, the plants and the rocks. Not a single living being who does not love God. Why? Because everyone is in search of happiness. Remember I told you yesterday? And happiness or bliss, love, peace, happiness in one word, bliss, Paramanand, is the Supreme Almighty God, the Divine Beloved. And this is the rishta, this is the relationship of the soul. So, Maryada Purushottam Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra Ji takes descension on this earth. And he is Maryada Purushottam establishing the principles of Varna Ashram Dharam. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, these are the four classes. And then the rules and regulations and the principles and the moralities pertaining to each one of them. And plus, there are the four ashrams, the four Varna, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and the four ashrams. The ashram means the stages of life. One is the life of celibacy, brahmachari, then grihastha, householder, then vanaprastha, retirement, and then sannyas, renunciation. He came here to establish all this. All the maryada, the morals and the principles. And look what is happening in his own house. Bhagavan Ram, when he was getting ready to go for 14-year exile, at that time he told Lakshman, Bharat is not here. He is at grandmother's house and Shatrughan is with him. Nobody is here to take care of our old father. And you know, my father's attachment to me is immense, is beyond bounds. He is deeply attached to me. So, you need to stay back home. You need to stay here and again come with me. And this is the Adesh, the instruction of Maryada Purushottam Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra Ji, the eldest brother as well, to his younger brother, Lakshman, and telling that, look, father needs you. In other words, he's trying to signal just in case something happens to my father in my separation. In other words, if he dies, then what? So you better stay back. He's not saying these words openly, but yes, it was understood very clearly by Lakshman what Prabhu Ram is saying. And then he said to Sita Mata, Sitaji, you better stay back as well. Because you've got the father-in-law, the Sasur, and the Sas, Mata Kaushalya, you know, the pain is immense. The pain of my separation, the Vilaha, is unbound again when it comes to Mata Shris. All the three mothers are there, but whatever KK did, but especially talking about Mata Kaushalya and Srita in this moment. So you better stay back. And plus KK, she is now feeling very pained about it. So, Sita, you stay back. And then we've got the Gurus, Guru Vashishta Adi. So you stay back. Nobody will come with me. I have been given this 40-year exile. I am banished from this kingdom. So it will be me alone who will be coming. So Sita, please no. Sita Mata says, this time, Prabhu, please spare my life and me. I am going to go only with you because without you, no existence. There is no existence. There is no Sita without Ram. And I just told you about that Leela. She is a very big part in this Leela. It is her Chaya Roop, which it is her reflection, remember? The imitation one, which Raman takes. Because the actual Sita enters into Ram. It is Ram and Sita. Without Ram Shakti, how can Ram do anything? So Ram and Ram Shakti. So here, it's all clear, and Sita Mata says, and Lakshman, at least you listen to me, please. Lakshman says, hey, Lakshman talks like that. Yeah, that time he was so much in anger that he forgot, he doesn't care about the supremacy and the dignity of his eldest brother, or even the respect that is supposed to be given to the older brother. It's like the respect of a father. So Lakshman is saying, tell me one thing. You have your bow and you have your arrow hanging on your shoulder. When we were young kids and Vishwamitra took us to jungles, you were there. You had killed all those Suvanu and all those Rakshas and Rakshasas, the demons. Tarta Bad Etyadi. Maryada Sthapan Karne Gaye the. You said, I'm here to establish the principles of righteousness. They are doing evil things, wrong things, and they don't need to be on this earth, etc. And you killed them and took care of all those demons, etc. And now, what are you doing, Maryada Purushottam? In your own house, in our own house, this KK could do all this just by listening to mantra. She is now banishing you for 40 years for no reason. Where is your bow and where is your arrow now for the evilness that is going on in the house? What happened to your Maryada now? There is no Maryada in this. What is the Maryada? What is the morality and the principle in this? This is against the morals and the principles. Bhagavan Ram looks at Lakshman and says, Lakshman, whom do you want me to shoot the arrows at? To that father, Dasharath. He's not taking the name of his father, Dasharath. I'm just talking to you and taking the name so that you are clear about whom I'm talking about, King Dasharath. That father of ours, that father of mine, who saw only one single small white strand of hair by the ear in the mirror that day, and he said, I'm finished with this kingdom. Now I'm going to give the kingdom to my eldest son Ram, and was ready to throw. Should I shoot the arrows at that father who is such a dharma? Or should I shoot my arrows at that Mata Keki? That Ma Keki. You know, Lakshman, in our young days, I used to sleep with Ma Kaushalya. And in the night time, sometimes I dream something, or sometimes I just feel a very strong vibe or a very strong pull to go to Ma Keki. And I run in the middle of the night to my Mata Keki. And she would hug me and embrace me and give me so much of love. And in her love, I would be lost totally. And I would sleep so well. Do you want me to shoot the arrows at that Mata Keki, who has given me all the love in my life? Or should I shoot the arrows and kill that Mahatma, that Dharmatma, my brother, Bharat? Where? For Karo Kosh Dur tak, miles and miles away, sin cannot even think. Shadows of sins or reflections of sins even cannot think of coming living here. Such a Mahatma is कि जहां पे पाप जिसके सीमा से अनंत कोश दूर रहता है, सोच भी नहीं सकता पाप उसके सीमा तक कहां है. ये महात्मा भरत को मैं मारता हूं इस बात से. Oh, shoot. Lakshman kept quiet, put his head down. So Lakshman, you better stand here, okay? There is Guru, there is Pita, there is Mata. You know Lakshman, what he said? He retorted again to Prabhu Ramchandraji and said, look, that's it. I understand everything. But coming to this, I'm sorry, Bhaiya. I'm extremely sorry. Guru Pitu Matuna Jani Huko. I don't know who's Guru, I don't know who's Pita, and I don't know who's Mata. Guru Pitu Matuna Jani Huko. I don't know these Gurus, Pitas, and Matas. Father, Mother, Guru. More Sabahi Ek Tum Swami Deen Bandhu Pura Antarayami. Oh, my omniscient Lord. Oh, the Lord of the humble, the fallen and the destitute. Every relation of mine is only with you. In other words, you are my father. You know what father means? Father means mother's husband. And what is Lakshmanji Maharaj saying? You are my father to whom? To Prabhu Ram, means my mother's husband. सोचिए थोड़ा देर के लिए, ये तो गाली हो जाएगा. It's a big swear. We can't say this. This is so wrong. But remember one thing. Lakshman here is not talking about physical nata, physical relation, physical rishta, relations and physical connections. He is not talking about. He is talking about the Atma Sambandh, the soul's relation. Soul is related exclusively only with the Supreme God. the mother, the father, the guru, every relationship. Shanta bhav, dasya bhav, sakya bhav, vatsalya bhav, madhurya bhav. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva bandhishta sakha tvameva vidya tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. We all say it, we don't accept it. Lakshman here is accepting it 100%. You alone are my guru, my mother, my father, my every relation. That is why I don't know any other guru, any other mother, father. I'm coming with you. This is Atma. And this is all what Bhagavan Ram is teaching to us. Sabke mamata tag batori, mama pad kamal bandhi bat dori. Sabke mamata ko bator karke all the relations that you have formed in this world, collect it all and bring it and tie it unto my divine lotus feet, unto my lotus feet, says Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra Ji. With me alone exists your every relation. Where it is said, it is the Atma's relationship with Paramatma. This physical relation and physical bodily relations, these are only temporary things. It's made today, it will be destroyed with death anyway. Or before even death, it gets destroyed. Every relation in this world will come to an end. And again, we will rotate in the cycle of transmutation, building this new physical relation. Physical relation has no actual existence. The actual true relationship is the relationship with the soul, because that is what is eternally in existence. Just as in Bhagavad Gita, we have heard again and again. So in the Ramayana, Ishwar Ansha Jiva Avinashi Chetana Amal Saja Sukharashi. So devotion to me, love for me alone is what is needed. The Lord himself is teaching, and Lakshman is just saying that today. That's all it is. So, Milehi Raghupati Binu Anuraga Kiye Yoga Jap Jnana Viraga. Bina Anurag ke, without building this loving relationship, this deep attachment with love. Remember, not only attachment, Pura attachment, only attachment is what we practice in this material world with our relations. But with God, it is not only that attachment, it is attachment with love. That's all what is needed. Duties you perform here in the world. This is the difference that we don't understand. We already said, okay, Lakshman said my every relation is this, and then I'm going with Prabhupada, no matter what happens to Father. No. We cannot be imitators and start to imitate. We have to get to the level of Lakshman. We have to be devoted to that level to God first. So, there are certain duties that you and I we need to carry out in this world. What we are doing is we are carrying out spiritual duties. We come to the mandir, we listen to the talks, we do the aarti puja, we do the bhog, and then we say good night, goodbye, Bhagavanji, I'm going back to all my beautiful relations, my darling wife, my darling husband, and my darling children, and my darling house, and my darling bed. All these attachments, all these loving attachments are here, and this is what needs to be broken. All this needs to be with God, not the duty that we do with God. And the duty needs to be practiced in the world, towards your children, towards your wife, your husband, whatever it is. You can call them darling spouse and darling children and darling house and darling bed, but that attachment that goes along with those words have to be broken, completely broken, zero. They're only duty, and here, not duty. We are doing duty to God. Every morning aarti puja, and then all day we are thinking and chatting only with all these relations. दिन भर फोन लेकर के उनसे बात कर रहे हैं, उनको नहीं कर रहे। भगवान से तो दिन भर बात नहीं करते, तो आपको उल्टा करना है बस। संसार में ड्यूटी निभाओ, सुबह शाम देख लिया, दर्शन हो गया, उठा अपने ऑफिस के काम, दिन भर उनसे मतलब नहीं रखो। और दिन भर किससे मतलब रखो? भगवान जी से। आपका मन की आसक्ति यहाँ हो जाए, उल्टे करना, सब प्यार करने जानते, सब अनुराग करने जानते। Everybody knows how to love. When our attachments are love and everything, now it's not pure love, it's only lust, it's all sensual. However, it is we are practicing. But we have to turn it from the world and the worldly people to our physical body and everything related to this world to God. That's all we need to do. We know exactly. राम ही केवल प्रेम प्यारा और जान ले तो जानन हारा. Lord loves only the love. He doesn't love us. Neither the gurus nor God love us. They love our love. They fall in love with our love. And we can win the heart of our divine beloved only with our love and loving attachments to them. How do we build this? Through jap, tap, yog, yag, Remember, jap, tap, yoga, whatever it is. You can do japas, you can do tapas, you can do yoga, you can do yoga, all these practices you can do. Neva, dharma, achara, tap, yoga, yagya, japa, dana, bhesha, japuni, koti, kariye, rujana, jahi, hariyan. The mind sickness, the mind disease, the mind attachments will not be released. We will not be free from it by practicing name, dharma, tap, yoga, japa. Then, through what? If not through jap, tap, yog, yag. Tomorrow. You all will have to come back. Because this is what we need to do. Now, if you say, oh, Didi, I can't come tomorrow, then goodbye. Yes, you'll have to come to learn this. Because this is the main thing. We don't want to miss this one out. And then, once we know, okay, then how do we attract the love of our Lord, the grace of our Lord with our love? And we will start this procedure right there and then. It's very simple. So japa tapa niyama yoga nij dharma shruti sambhavanana shubha karma jnana dayadam tirath majjan jaan lagi dharma kahe shruti sajjan agam nigam purana aneka padhe sune kar phal prabhu eka tava pad pankaj preeti nirantar sab sadhan karya phal sundar. अब वो प्रीति निरंतर कैसे हो कराएंगे तब बताएंगे. बोलिए श्यामति रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. बोलिए श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय. जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे.
Radha Trivedi and my fellow devotees, it's a privilege to have Sushi Yogeshwari Devi with us in Yogakunj. Thank you, Devi, for enlightening us by explaining where the real happiness resides and how to fall in love with Prabhu Ramchandra Ji. Detachment from the material world and surrendering to God and Guru is the first step in sanctification and growth in our spiritual path. So thank you so much, Devi, for imparting this knowledge to us. Today being the first day of our evening lecture series on Smriti Scripture Ramayan by Sushri Yogeshwari Devi. She will continue again tomorrow, so please join us again, 7 p.m., same place, Yogakunj. Thank you so much. Radha.
All the children come quickly for your chocolates. So once again, my most humble pranams to each one of you dear devotees. Devotees, we usually do our aartis at 7 o'clock. So that is why I'm not doing any aarti now in the end. And because it's already time, so I'm not doing any other chanting. But when I will be giving the prasad, there will be some of the devotees who will do the chanting, and you can still be in that mode of beautiful chanting while you're taking the prasad. Children, please, kids, come first. I know I have not got something poisonous for you. It is chocolate, but it's a good quality.
राघव राजा राम भजो रघुपति राघव राजा राम भजो रघुपति राघव राजा राम भजो भजो पतित पावन सीताराम भजो पतित पावन सीताराम भजो पतित पावन सीताराम भजो पतित पावन भजो रघुपति राम